Hey guys, I just wanted to reach out to you and let you know that Surewinder is still selling amazing products. Some of you guys have been dragging your feet for whatever reason. If your shoulder hurts, do not waste time. Pull the trigger. I just bought 4 or 5 of them, and we had 2 guys out. You know how much it cost me to pay for 2 guys being out with bad shoulders? We just pulled the trigger and we said, listen, everybody's going to have one on a truck. It's mandatory. You got to use it. Don't hesitate. Don't wait till your guys go down. It's going to cost you more. Buy a Surewinder.
What?
Why are you recording?
Why not?
Robbie's going to be like, what?
Cut it out.
My mom goes, the other day, yesterday, she was listening to the episode and she goes, did Ryan call you Pancake? And I was like, no, he called Pancake. It's like, that's his actual name? That's his actual name. What's for snack today? Oh, are you eating pork rinds?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Those are good snacks.
Oh.
No, I can't. But are they the spicy ones? I only like the spicy ones.
I only like the plain ones.
Oh, man, dang you pressing that record button.
You want a fatty?
What the? Is that beef jerky? Gross.
MSG free, gluten free, and no nitrates.
Well, maybe not gross then.
Oh, let me change my background.
Better be good, bro.
Boom.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Is that a real picture of the office or is that made?
Yeah, that's right. It's my office behind me.
Yeah, right.
We have this. I'm actually like the same type of designer because this is my Axolotl office, and then this is my Right Way office.
Nice.
You're smart. Well
I
played.
actually should rock this because I was going to show you guys samples. I know on a podcast they can't see it, but I can
They
still.
can. We roll it out on YouTube.
Oh, you're right. Then you can.
Yeah.
All right. We'll count it down to 3. Perfect. What's up, everybody? Ryan here with Torsion Talk Podcast. And I don't know what to say, quite honestly. I am in the midst of a storm. I posted on Facebook VUCA. Do y'all know what VUCA is?
Yeah. He was and he was at the summit too. So we're both familiar with VUCA.
So VUCA is volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I always say that wrong. Ambiguity.
Ambiguity.
So for those of the people that went to GDU Summit 23 will know the name Jose Bolanos because he taught how to recognize it, which is the first part of the challenge, and then how to pull out of it, or how to be in it and not freak out. And so I recognize that I'm in neck high VUCA and I am trying to like handle it. And most of it honestly just comes from the house. Like we're building a house. I think I've mentioned that on the show a couple of times, and it's stressful, dude. Like I see why these homeowners, like when they get to the end and we're coming in with the garage door, bro, they look like death. Like they just finished being tortured by the Chinese or something. Colombian cartel, right? So that's where I'm at. I have lost all my hair on my head.
Why is that so funny?
He said all the hair, like the one hair he had left, he lost it.
Y'all got jokes.
Not all the hairs on his head.
I don't know where y'all been, but I've had a full head of hair
Up until recently, and now I'm just shaved it, and I do look sexy. It looks nice. I got a beautiful head, and so I'm to the point now where just like whatever. I just need to take off like 2 days a week and help with this house. But we hired a designer, one of the designers that we work with, and she's amazing. She's helping us out. Air and overhead doors has been doing great. We had 2 consecutive months that were just absolutely out of this world. And then this month we're a little behind. So kind of playing catch up right now, but the team's stepping up. And then GDU Summit is in full effect. We've had 15 registrations already. We just opened it up this week for the public. And so that leaves us with 25 seats left. I was really shocked when I got a phone call from Sean Smith at Clopay. Very interesting conversation. He's like, man, I love this stuff. He's like, what do you think about me being an attendee? And I'm like, are you serious right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, I'm cool with you being an attendee if you help make the conference better, because he's got like 30 years in sales. So he's coming. He's bringing his director of sales with him. He signed up for the Diamond. So both of them are going to be participating in all the different events that we've got. And so we've got so much stuff lined up and planned. It's going to be absolutely amazing. So you guys are going to want to be there. And we're closing down, or actually, if you guys go to garagedoorU.com, check out the menu, you'll see that there is a tab now for sales training. And we have all the dates on that and what the training is. So if you guys want to just sign up, go there, check that out. But today, we're not here to talk about all that. I just want to get that out of the way so we can introduce. First of all, we have our co-host, as usual, Tamara.
Hello.
How have you been?
I've been well. Doing very well.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm replacing you.
That is so rude.
How does that feel?
Real bad. You know how I feel about it, and I'm not.
Wait,
Thank
what? Are you
you.
about to drop some news that I don't know about?
No. I'm just messing with her. It's so much fun. She used to be my assistant, and now she's COO of Garage Door U. So we
I
promoted
keep
her.
seeing that. I'm like an executive woman of the year. I love
Yeah,
it.
I've heard that.
I haven't won that
Feel
yet.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm like drowning over here with the house, and then like my email just looks like complete cluster, right? So I'm in the project, started the process with We Recruit Well to find me another Tamara. So
Can I tell a funny story real quick?
Yes.
yeah.
So probably like 8 years ago, I got an email that said I had won Executive of the Year.
You want it?
And I was like, what? How is this even ranked? And I went and told a couple people, and come to find out, it's just a marketing scheme.
Oh yeah, they want you to pay.
Yeah, you have to pay like $2,000. And then so I got one recently. It was like top 100 innovative leaders in the construction industry. And I was like telling them, I was like, oh, I won it again.
Dude,
I remember like being excited about it and then realizing, okay, it's a marketing scam. So you are up for COO of the year. It's Jake's chief executive officer of the year.
$2,000 in order to get it.
Yeah, you get a free ticket to GDU,
Nice.
the summit, and congratulations.
Thank you. I'm honored. Y'all are mean. So who's our guest?
So
You might know.
yeah, our guest today is someone who really wasn't on my radar until about a year ago. Shame on me, but he has really like gained the trust of a lot of people in the industry recently. He's got great input. He's part of a fast growing company. He's really smart. He gives good advice. He's also a sponge, so he loves to learn. He hasn't arrived yet, which is great. I love those people. So today we have Jake Wold with Right Way, who's also an Oakland Raiders fan. Go Raiders.
Always Oakland.
Yeah.
Every time you say that, I always think that someone else is going to pop up on the screen. So on Friday, my son, it was his final. We had the team party before the playoff game, which is bad luck because we lost in the semifinals. But and I'm one of the coaches, and we took turns introducing the kids and giving them their trophies. And the head coach said, "This next kid, he always listens. He gives it his all. He does such a great job. He never cries. This one goes out to Jake Wold." And I'm like, that's a lie. the kid cries every time he strikes out. He gets super irritated every time someone makes a play. If he gets out, I was like, lies. Like, why are you filming this kid with lies? So when you said that, I'm thinking like, someone else is just gonna pop up on the screen.
Nah, bro, it's you, dude. It's you.
You're the
And you know
best.
what? Like, you should. You're not an imposter. Like, I know that. I can tell. You can read people and tell that you're not faking it. I think you're doing a phenomenal job. I love your attitude and approach with everything. And so, I think you're ready to accept the role of a badass, bro.
I'm ready to accept it. It's just I got it. Someone always asks me like, how's it going? And I'm like, I'm chasing the dream. I'm just too slow to catch it.
Yeah.
See it. I want to be a badass. I'm ready to accept the role of becoming one. But no, you guys are awesome. Like I love the last 2 years how the industry is just getting tight. And probably even started a little bit before that, but I feel like this newer generation of garage door owners, and I use that loosely, I'm 41, but it's just different. We don't keep secrets, everything's about growing and having a good time. And yeah, I love it. So I love our industry so much, and I'm happy to contribute in any way I can.
And our industry is very much split into two halves. One half is like, I know it all. You can't teach me anything. And what do I need to know? I've been running my business for 20 years, but he's still one truck and his body's wearing down, right? And you got the other people who are like, man, I really want to make something of this. I want to grow and I don't know everything. And that's why, like, I mean, I can't begin to tell you how much I learned in my early years just creeping on the Facebook groups, right? Like, so for me, I think that education is super important, because if you can't picture where you're trying to get, you can't get there. It's very hard. If you don't have a roadmap, if you don't see things, I'm a visual person. If I can see it, I can do it. There's literally where I have trouble, because I do this sometimes, is trying to do something no one else has done before. That's hard because I haven't visualized it all yet, and I'm kind of like trying to do it as I go. But if I see it, I can do it. And it's I think that's probably the case with most people, quite honestly.
Yeah, there's a lot of differences now. And like, I feel like the first probably 8 years of my career, I was a bad business owner. It was all about just driving numbers. I didn't really care about systems. I didn't really care about processes. It was all about, having a revenue goal and crushing the revenue goal. And I realized that once we cross like the 10 million mark, you can only dangle the puppet strings so much before things start falling apart. And so you're reaching out to people, you're trying to figure out what, people are doing. And I still feel it was like a little slow, but now our industry has so many tools and resources, like all these, I call them add-ons or services. Now it's like, hey, does anyone use Chirp? Does anyone use Service MVP? What are you guys using for a CRM? Like, we're just starting to learn. We connected with Sebastian with Iconic. That dude is awesome, by the way. I love Sebastian.
Yeah.
Yeah, we sat together. Yeah, dude, he's so awesome. And he got the general manager of Rightway, Brett. He was with me at Vertical Track, and we sat by Sebastian. And now, like, Brett's having calls with Sebastian about Monday, about these job boards and things like. So a lot of these tools, like, it's just bringing people together, and it's it's the rebranding. It's like Dan Antonelli, like, people hit me up, like, how's the rebrand going? Like, what's that like? Or Service MVP. What do you think of that platform? And it's just really, it's nice because before you used to have to try and go online and research yourself. Now you go onto a Facebook group like is GDT. Did you start that?
No, that was started by someone else, but he may be an admin. The GDT
group. Yeah, because that's like a good one now, or even Instars of America, where you can just go on and just be like, who uses this? And all of a sudden, like, you're getting all these texts and calls and messages, and it's really made the industry. I think it's easier to scale, and it's really like started to separate the people that really want to grow their company and not just make more money, but literally grow their company.
Well, I use this as a reference a lot. Um, that the only thing keeping you from the next step is what you don't know or the action you haven't taken. So if you don't know what action to take, you can't take the next step, right? And
Yeah.
so the information that is passed between people on the Facebook groups, Garage Door Freedom, GDU, all these conferences like the EduCons and stuff like that is so valuable. And there's a plus and minus to a lot of that stuff too, because a lot of these guys go to everything and they don't implement anything.
Yeah.
And that's a negative, right? Like obviously that's not super helpful. But I genuinely believe that the information flow is better than it's ever been in the garage door industry. And I also think that other industries are starting to take notice of the garage door industry for the first time ever, which is also really nice. You rebranded. We're going to talk about Axolotl today because I want to give you a chance to talk about this new product that's hitting the market. But before we do, I want to talk about your rebrand because your rebrand was probably one of my favorite that I've seen from Dan Antonelli and how you've implemented it with the stamp on things and stuff like that. I just really think the little touches are nice. Tell me though, like that's not like a drop in the bucket as far as like a commitment or a financial obligation. It's a lot of work financially and also to turn everything over and rebrand and get rid of all the old stuff. So question number one, was it worth it?
100%. Absolutely. It was worth it. You talk about how long it's taken. Like we just got 8 vans delivered that are our service vans that we spent 6 months building out, designing, making sure that all the shelving was right. So it's like the rebrand is phase 1. It's the design, right? And for us, it was a big deal because we changed our name and we went from RW to Right Way. So it was our website is still rwgaragedoors.com. People are like, oh, I thought I called RW. And it's like, well, yeah, Right Way. RW stands for Right Way or Right Way. So it's been a process. And for us, it hasn't just been about getting an updated logo and then releasing it and changing it over. It's been about, okay, first we're going to start internally. Like we're going to do things the right way. And every time we meet about something or, I have this thing called the lowest level of effectiveness. It sounds better on paper, but what it means is if there's a problem, come up with a solution that gets it going and then we can refine later. But we ask ourselves that like, oh, is this the right way? And same with our customers, like, oh, I'm out of a job. I need a pair of reds. I have one white and one red. Can I just put some extra wines? Like, I don't know, is that the right way or is it the wrong way? Like, or is it the cheap way? So for us, it's been this really long process. And I think it's taken much longer, I think, than probably it should have. And if anybody's interested in rebranding, let me know because I can really probably speak a whole hour or two about this. But Dan Antonelli is just the GOAT, not just in his design, but he's really helped me out with kind of facilitating things. And so to recap kind of our rebrand, we rolled out in June, new logo. And then we ordered some vans. We spent about 3 months coming up with this mobile showroom idea. We wrapped the vans. We have these mobile showrooms now. And then we moved over to service. And in that, we were buying new trucks. Trucks took like 7 months. We got we had ordered 14 new Rangers, wrapped, bought custom racks, powder coated the racks. And just now now everything's starting to kind of come together. So we're going on 1 year. And I think by the end of next month, end of June, we will be fully rebranded. You got to go through all your, we went through our Yext account. So it's easy to identify where we're online, changing logos, we had to deal with our LSAs, like changing, there's, licenses. And so it's been a long process that if I could do it all over again, which I will never do, I would have done it a lot faster. But yeah, no, it's definitely been worth it. And for us, it's not just at the GDU Summit, I talked a lot about value. Like, people are saying, oh, you got to raise your prices. It's like, okay, I'm not going to raise my price until I raise my value. And I feel like our branding does add value. When we show up in a branded van and the customer gets to walk in the back of that van and see wood door samples, aluminum samples, color samples, everything is there. They can touch it, feel it. I feel comfortable being, on the higher end of pricing for doors. Service, just until we recently got vans delivered last week, I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel comfortable charging it for $1,000 for springs because we didn't even carry all the springs on our truck.
Right.
We were showing up in a busted looking shirt. Now we have these dye sub uniforms, and we're doing our inspections. We're using the service MVP coaching tool to help connect with customers better. So I feel like it's really all coming together. It's just taking a really long time.
That's awesome. So next question on the branding is, how has it impacted your customer base? Dan posts a lot about like branding and case studies on growth after branding. And, I think he would love to put the crown on and say, I'm responsible for the growth.
Yeah.
But I think it's a mindset of the business in combination with the rebrand. Because anyone who's willing to invest in their business to rebrand like that is obviously growth focused and is making good decisions, in my opinion. So I feel like you're going to experience some growth, but the numbers he's throwing out after a rebrand are pretty big. Are you experiencing some of those same growth or recognition out and about, more phone calls from the brand?
Yeah. So here's what I can tell you. We're up about 150% in service. Our close rate has gone up about 8%. For the year, we're flat. We're not advertising as much as we were. And that kind of goes along with, we're redoing our website. If you look, like, our website is changing daily. So I still feel it's not like a real fair assessment. What it has done is we've increased our company's culture, the temperature of our culture. Like, people are embracing, the name and the brand change. And when your team sees you investing in the team, like, they want to stay. They want to see what the outcome is. They know you're working towards something. You look at the Oakland A's. They're the worst team in baseball. I think they just broke the record for the worst record through the first 50 games in modern era baseball. And why? They're moving, right? The owner is not putting money into the facility, into the team. So there's no coincidence that they're the worst team in the league. So I think, where I'm seeing it is our service. We did this and branded this way to grow our service department. We are very heavy in door sales. Like, retro door sales is about 70% of our business. Service was 10%. And then new construction was around 20. We're trying to continue to scale door sales, but also grow service to like 50%. And so right way, get it done the right way was choosing that branding based on what the vision of the company looks like, which is to be heavy service, to meet someone at Home Depot that's in their early 20s behind the register and showing them a path to making, to having a career in the garage door industry. And, right now we're in the middle of a huge project, which is our new location, building our training center.
Yeah, I'm super pumped. I actually would like to come out and visit sometime after I get moved into my house, check everything out. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, it's that's a whole nother thing. It's like, so we need to hire a door sales rep, another one. We need to hire, we've brought on 3. See, that's the other thing about rebranding is people see the vans and the trucks, and now we're actually getting good people from other companies. The bad ones don't want to leave. The bad ones tend to stick around the other company. So the guys that want to leave, I think the last 5 new hires have all had experience from other companies. And if you start to quantify everything that the rebrand has done for us, revenue is probably not something we could even really judge because we're not even going all out yet. The recruiting has become easier. Our booking calls is vastly improved. Just our overall brand feeling, I feel, when you say RW garage doors, that doesn't really mean anything. But when you say right way garage doors, it automatically thinks, okay, they do it the right way, even though, the percentage of the time we do it the wrong way. And so I think rebranding has been, for us, it's been an extremely positive experience. And, we have a $20 million goal this year and we plan on hitting it. And that would be 25% growth. And we would absolutely contribute that to our rebrand.
Nice. That's pretty special, bro. I appreciate the feedback because I think I'm about to finalize something with Dan here soon too. So it always feels good to hear your feedback on that. So
are you going to change your name?
Probably not. I mean, I'm open to whatever, but probably not. Our situation's slightly different than yours. I think if we were in this for the long haul, like I was planning on staying in, with air and overhead doors for 10, 15, 20 years, then probably. But, the plan has always been to sell and start something else. And so we're probably 3 to 5 years out from that, most likely. And so I'm not sure that I'll get the return on investment in the short amount of time doing a complete name change. So we're just talking about keeping air and overhead doors. It has a good reputation in the area, and but I see the value in it. Like, honestly, every company I've ever started, I've named it something that didn't have a lot of meaning, and quite frankly, Right Way feels really good, but most names, I don't think it matters. What's a Target? What's a Walmart? What's a Google? I mean, when you name it, out of all the things that are important, that's probably not the most important thing. As long as it stands out and people can remember it, I think is the only thing that's important. But that's my opinion, and I got a bunch of them. So, switching gears here a little bit, you and I spoke a while back, and you were super pumped about this product that you had come in contact with, and you're all fired up about it. And next thing I know, you're introducing this thing into the United States through Amarr, and it's Amarr sending out emails to their entire database, look at this product. That's got to feel good to get that deal done and have them promoting your product. So my question is, what is Axolotl, and what do you envision for the American market for it?
So I'll speak on 2 things. First of all, it was Amarr. It was a little bit easier because how I got involved was there was somebody that was responsible for the commercial division, the national commercial manager. His name's Steve Rosner, awesome guy. And I've known him throughout the years. He actually used to put me to sleep during the Amarr summits because he'd sit there and talk about wind load and tensile strength but I was always a good guy to him. So he actually dropped my name when they were in kind of an early, not even beta test, but hey, we're going to sell Axolotl frame and you guys are going to service it and we're going to see what happens. So I got involved last summer and ended up really just kind of jiving with the team there. And then I ended up taking a position in the company. And Axolotl Global is a surfacing company. Their ultimate goal is to partner with large manufacturers and release product lines. I don't want to drop too many names because we're in the process of working with some big companies, but one is like the largest like bathware company in the United States. So we're taking like their bathtubs and we're surfacing them with copper or anthracene, and we're rolling up and we're meeting. Like we were at the Vegas show, and I was like, let's go over to the biggest booth over at the bathware at the builder show and just be like, who's the most important person? Let's talk with them, show more samples, and then we'll connect to them. So that's what we did. And that's what originally happened with Amarr is, there was in Australia, Axolotl was strictly the finishing company. If you wanted an Axolotl finished garage door, you would buy a garage door, send them the garage door, and they would apply the Axolotl surface to the garage door. So what we've been doing the last few months is productizing things through large manufacturers. So Amarr being one, that's been our biggest fish that we landed, signed with them, and officially launched last Monday. So you can actually go on to your Express and order an Axolotl door right now. Another one is DSA. That's one we're getting ready to announce. They have like over 1,000 dealers throughout the United States. And they're going to be being our exclusive pivot door company. We're working with a luxury piano company that we just produced a piano for them. We're working with a luxury car brand to do some of their interior surfaces. And the list goes on and on. We're working with another company, I can't say the name, but they're like the largest, we would consider them like paint finishing company in the world. And we're taking, so they have this waste. They make a corian product, but when they shut the machines off, it produces all this excess corian. So what we're doing is we're taking the excess corian, they're forming it, and then we're surfacing it. So it's a green product as well.
Nice.
So that's kind of the global what Axolotl is.
Yeah. And this is designed for the high-end clientele, right?
High-end clientele, more modern style or rustic, basically, yeah, you would say, I don't like it when people refer to it as a Lamborghini, because there is a Lamborghini version, which is our stage 4 finish, but we sell, Corvettes as well.
Consistency in everything, including price, reliability, quality, not just quality, but great quality control. These are things that describe Sommer USA. Sommer's not some startup company, not one that you need to be worried about going out of business in the near future. Sommer and their family of businesses are $200 million companies. They're in over 100 countries, and they have locations in 20 countries. This is a large organization who stands behind their product and works through integrity. And there's not another company out there willing to drop what they're doing and help you out like Sommer. These guys are awesome. Not only have they been loyal to the Torsion Talk podcast, they've been loyal to the technicians and the owners of the companies who install their product. In my opinion, if you're not at least offering Sommer as an additional option, you're cheating yourself. Listen, first-time dealers, I've got a special for you. If you buy 10 or more Sommers, while supplies last, we will offer you free shipping. You have no more excuses. The prices are great. The product is amazing. Go check out Sommer USA and order 10 for free shipping.
Okay. So it looks like Amarr's kind of made it a little bit more simple. When they sent out the flyer, there was like 4 different surfaces that you could choose from. And am I using the right terminology? Are you guys calling it a surface for the garage door or a finish?
Yeah, so surface and effects. So basically there's materials. So I'll give you the quick spiel on what Axolotl, the actual finishing process is. We take metal, concrete, terracotta, and we atomize it and we apply it to different substrates. So like, I know people on a podcast can't hear this, but what I'm holding up is a piece of concrete. This is a high pressure laminate that's been coated with concrete. It looks like concrete, it feels like concrete, it smells like concrete, but it weighs nothing more than like paint. This is real brass applied to a smooth, high pressure laminate to create a brass look. So there's the effects, which you're going to see like routing, smooth. I posted one yesterday that was this lunar finish. We have something called Cortex, where you can see that this is like really routed. This is my favorite one. And this is
You can
nickel.
go so
with
many
a-
directions with that. So like that'll be hot in Atlanta. But you would see that here on a modern house, as well as we have a lot of homes that take like an Asian like twist to it. That would go really well with that theme.
Absolutely.
I'm a huge fan, and I think that door in particular is probably my favorite out of all the ones I've seen.
Yeah, so we're basically taking concrete, atomizing it, and applying it, and it's like a 0.5 millimeter thick. So one thing we did, like with
How durable
bathtubs,
is it long term?
it's extremely durable. It actually adheres to the substrate. So I say substrate, that's a fancy way of saying like a laminated panel, but it actually becomes a part of it. And what's great is we actually finish it. So we apply a sealer to it, and it protects it against the elements. And we're talking about Australia. This is not a new product. Well, I should say it's a new product, but it's not a new process. This process has been around for 28 years in Australia. And I don't know if you've ever been to Australia. The weather can be brutal. It's
Right.
humid, it's sunny. If you're on the ocean, there's a lot of salt. So instead of buying a copper door and letting it sit in the sun and age and patina changing, we can actually patina the door to make it look how you want it to look, and then seal it so it doesn't age anymore.
That's so cool.
So Amarr's narrowed it down to a couple different textures, right? So like it's not an open, like you can get whatever you want through Amarr, is it? Or do you have to choose one of the like 4 different designs?
Yeah, so right now there's 20 different finishes and effect combinations. So there's the effect, which is going to be like the panel routing, and then there's the surface, which would be either a metal, a concrete, or something. So if there's a type of door that you're interested, like a finish, like an example would be, you go on and you see an effect on a pivot door, you would reach out to your local door center, and they would contact us direct, and we'll still be able to sell you that door. But right now, to keep things simpler, we're releasing about 20 different combinations of doors.
Nice. That's pretty legit, bro. And if I'm trying to order one, you said all I got to do is log into the Amarr back end, the portal, and go through like we would order any door, just build it out, right? And then we're
Correct.
good.
Yeah, there's a sample. You choose the effect, you choose the surface, you choose the size. We're working on getting dealer kits out. The one of the problems, or one of the problems to solve, I should say, is we've had to engineer a way to come up with samples that are cost effective that we can actually hand out to dealers. So one of our sample kits costs like around $700 to make. It's extremely expensive. It's extremely tedious. And a lot of it is, if you look at this right here, you can see the way it's branded. They never spare any expense. I mean, like if I look at the boxes that they come in, these are how the sample boxes come. They say Axolotl on them. I went to the factory in Baja like a few weeks ago, and I'm looking around and I'm seeing all this brand. I'm like, dude, this is expensive. And it's like, we have a reputation to uphold. If you were going to be, a luxury or a high-end brand, it's not just the product. Everything has to be elevated. Our business cards are insane. So that's been one of the things, is like, okay, and we solved the problem. We're now have these high definition samples that could be printed, and you can use them to sell the product. And then you'll have like a sample kit that'll actually show to where you could feel the sample if a customer wants to see it.
That's
Oh.
awesome, bro. I'm super excited. You know, we work with a lot of interior designers, and one thing that I hear a lot is like garage doors are just so boring. Like, you know, it's hard to find something that's beautiful, but yet also holds up in a hot, humid environment where the temperature can adjust, you know, 30 something degrees from morning until, you know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that takes a toll on a lot of different material. You know, we have wood doors, we got glass doors, but you know, people want something different and unique that not everybody else has, and you're delivering that. I mean, obviously, as people sell them, more people will have them, but this is like, in my opinion, you know, I know you're trying to sell to the masses, but this isn't a $4,000 door, right? Like, we're looking at double digits. This is not even really, is there an option that's comparable price wise to, let's say, like a custom wood door or a full view glass door?
So I know there's different manufacturers. We did because I own a garage door company as well. So we manufacture our own custom wood doors. So I couldn't use us as a case study, but a sales rep had gotten a quote from one of like the largest manufacturers in the United States that sells wood doors. You can probably imagine who it was. And we got the price, and a 16x8 was like $22,000 for this custom wood door with sealer, routed edges, clear vertical grain cedar. Our most expensive axolotl door is in the $20,000 range, which would be like a tier 4 with, you know, anthracene and different agings. Whereas, you know, a more basic one is probably close to like an Amarr black laminated powder coated Vista, you know, more in like the 12, 13, 14, $15,000 range. So yeah, I mean, it's the clientele. I mean, somebody was debating with me on this, and we were at dinner, and I look over and their wife is wearing like a $6,000 Louis Vuitton purse. And I'm like, if she's willing to put that on her shoulder, you know, you guys spending $30,000 or $40,000 on a garage that you're going to park, you know, your $100,000, $200,000 cars in. Like, if you really start to look at it like that, or you look at just home value in general, like somebody putting a $10,000 or $15,000 Vista on a $600,000 or $700,000 house, you know, if you're putting a $30,000 or $40,000 garage door on a $5 million house, I'm not a mathematician, but the numbers actually work out a little bit less. So I think it's really one of another problem to solve is we have to get it out there. People have to see it, because when we were at IBS, we received like over 700 leads from designers, architects, and builders. And they're like, what am I looking at? I don't even know what this is. The
Right.
customers are, my customers are describing it to us. They're going on Pinterest and they're showing us pictures, but we don't even know what we're looking at. So it's the more we get it out there, I think the more people will start to look at it and go, okay, well, if this is something I really want, I'm gonna have to pay for it. And that's what this is all about, right? My wife wears Coach, your wife probably wears Louis Vuitton.
So, you know, I was in software. We were trying to pave a path, kind of creating a market per se. And my CEO said, hey, I want you to read Blue Ocean Strategy. Have you read that?
I have it on my bookshelf. It probably makes me look smart. I've never read it.
Ah, bro, that's where you're at, man. You're in a blue ocean. It's all about like the complexity of introducing a new product. Yeah, you got it, bro. It's all about introducing a new product or service to a market that doesn't understand it or is unaware that it exists, right? And it's this massive undertaking, because you're like, I can go a billion different directions with this. Where do we start? Right. And he just talks about the strategy and how you take your product to market and do it in the best way possible. That book is perfect timing for you right now.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'll have to read it. I mean,
Because that's where you're at. I mean, you're introducing a product that's never been to my knowledge, either way, right? I don't think anybody in the country is aware of.
Yeah, that's really what it is. I mean, we're spending a lot of time and resources just like showing people the product, sending it to an architect. Amarr is putting a lot of resources in on, and I mean, we're getting an overwhelmingly positive response to the visual, what the product is. And now it's dealers going out and bidding the doors. I mean, and this is one of those things, like, this isn't a good, better, best scenario, right? This is where you're probably not going to show someone a Heritage 3000 or a CHI insulated,
Right.
and then an Axolotl as an option. Like these, this is phase one, and there's going to be more. There's going to be evolution. Like, we're working on windows right now. Right now, it's strictly solid. We're working on window options. I have a vision where we take a frame, an aluminum frame, and we actually coat a Vista frame in concrete. Or we take a Vista frame and we coat it in brass. So it's not a powder coat, it's an actual, we take and we actually add the metal. There's this terracotta look, like this is real terracotta. So you can have like a modern full view door with a real terracotta finish on like a Spanish style home.
That's crazy. Never been done before. And we're literally taking limitations off of garage doors. And I've always wondered like the best way to do that. And I always thought, like, even my kids are like, Dad, I can design something. And, they go and get a piece of paper and crayons or pencils or whatever. And they're like drawing garage doors, like, you should build this, you should build this. Right. And I'm like, yeah, that's great. And I always envisioned it like through the eyes of like a tunnel vision of someone was going to invent a style or something that was going to change. I never envisioned it as being like, oh, let me just get this hose and spray it on. I know that's not like exactly what you do. But to a degree, like that, it's an application that's being applied on top of the door. So it's an overlay per se, right?
Yeah, it's like, I think the best way to describe it is always it's going to be a finish. It's like, what's really hard is like, we haven't even patented it because we don't want to release the patent. Like, I'll be in the factory and I'll start like asking too many questions. And the Australians, we have this her name's Leanne. She's like our Australian expert. She literally left Australia, left her family behind, her grandkids, her daughter, and she lives in Tijuana. And she commutes to the factory. She's so passionate about Axolotl and protecting, the integrity and not releasing, there's sometimes, because how salespeople are, hey, we got to do this, for this customer. And she's like, it's not going to hold up. We're not going to do it. Like, so she knows because there's limitless design, but there's also elements, right? So I think that just the Axolotl in general is a really professional company. I've actually had to adapt my style, to kind of fit, because, I'll be on a call with someone in Singapore, the CEO, and then like the COO will be in Thailand, and then the marketing, the chief executive of marketing is in Spain. And I'm like bringing these things up, and I just realized like, this is a very professional company. And then working with Amarr, obviously, they're a huge company. So I like the structure behind it. This isn't a gunslinging product that's going to hit the market with no support. We have a lot of support, a ton of engineering. This has been a product in the making for almost 2 years. It's had extensive testing. It's been cycle tested. It's been wind load tested, and we're finally ready to rock it.
Bro, is Amarr the most innovative company in the United States as far as garage door manufacturers?
I would say the marketing team at Amarr is probably one of the most innovative group. Like, there's a lot of things that are not released that are on the horizon. I think Amarr, I like the executive team at Amarr. I kind of grew up with them. I'm 41, And, in my late 20s, when I started, going to some of these Amarr events, like they've always been super cool to me and, watched me grow and I've watched them grow. That's the thing about Amarr is like, everybody's the same. Like Vicky, the VP of marketing, she was the VP of marketing 12 years ago. Lyle, the VP of sales, he was the VP 12 years ago. Blaine, the director of sales, same. Like,
usually when you get that, you have a little bit of a lag, right? Where it's like they're old school or whatever. But I see Tommy talk highly about Amarr and how they work with him for expansion. I talk to you about how they're doing this with you, and it feels a lot like some of the bigger companies have these great relationships with them, and they're innovative and willing to work with them. So I don't know. I just like to recognize, I'm banging on manufacturers when they do crap work, but I like to praise them and recognize them for when they do good stuff. And it just feels to me like, Amarr is really making a push. They don't do, in my opinion, like a lot of advertising or promotion, but I think that it's pretty cool that they're willing to be outside the box. And, for the first time, I felt like, they built the Classica, which is a unique door. But I feel like for the first time, really, that your product's probably the most innovative thing that's hit the market in a long time. And they snatched it up, right? Like that could have been anybody. They could have been like, oh no, we're good.
Well, this actually speaks to what you're saying, because we didn't just sign with them. I went back and forth. I think I signed like a exclusive negotiation with them like in November, but everybody was coming after it. Everyone, like there was garage door manufacturers that I didn't even know built doors for these huge companies that were like coming out of the woodworks. And at the end of the day, we chose Amarr, and we chose Amarr because of their vision, of their structure, their distribution, and I could trust them, right? Like I know, working with their team to launch this product, like I already knew them. Like when I went to Mexico, I was with a couple Amarr executives that I've known for a long time. So I felt very comfortable and I knew I had some influence. And they're just, I think Amarr, like we don't gloat a lot about manufacturers. I think they're doing a really good job, even in our core business. Like people say, oh, I hate Amarr, just like people say, like, I hate Wells Fargo. I love Wells Fargo. I've been with them since I was like 14 years old. Amarr has treated us right, and they care about scaling. They want to grow. And they're owned by Assa Abloy, and Assa Abloy expects them to grow. So in order for them to grow, they have to continue to provide, good service and take market share by coming up with some of these innovative products. And with Axolotl, they're fully on board, and they're going to kill it for us.
Yeah. Sounds like it, bro. I'm really impressed because, Tommy's talking about APIs with them and how they're working with him. And, they if I'm not mistaken, they even synced up with Service Titan to build an API for that. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember. I know Clopay did, but I don't know if Amarr did or not. I thought they did. So I don't know. It just it feels good to see this happen in our industry, where there's innovation and people are willing to evolve and adapt and change and not just be stuck in the same old. And as we spoke to briefly earlier, like the garage door in and of itself is starting to get a little bit more notoriety. It's been on the list of top ROI for like the last 4 years or whatever. People are starting to invest more money. High-end garage doors are becoming more and more popular. I think the biggest complaint, like I said earlier, is designers and people with money are tired of looking at the same type of doors. They want something different. And so I'm really excited about this. And I think, it sounds like it's an unlimited opportunity for you guys. Front doors, windows, garage doors, faucets,
Toilets.
whatever.
I have this vision, like, and the CEO's like, not right now, but like someday, like in the next couple of years, I'm going to go to Louis Vuitton I'm gonna buy a Louis Vuitton purse and we're gonna coat it in concrete or brass or nickel with this aging effect. And I'm like, here's the new Axolotl for Louis Vuitton line.
Nice.
But I want to say this too, is like you bring up like our industry is now like really elevated itself beside, I think, above like all the other home service industries. Because if you think, you got plumbing, you got HVAC, electrical, and then within those you have service, and then you have functionality, and then you have like the automation. We have the design element. And I think if you look at all the industries that we kind of, I don't want to say compete with, but let's say we have a, like Tommy opened up Vertical Track last year with all the trades. And there was flooring companies, there was, cabinet companies. Like the garage door industry really has it all with, the cameras now and the opening with the doors of your phone, and then the luxury finishes and the cool designs and the functionality, the insulation factor and then service in general, being able to get high cycle springs. And now it's really just all the other companies, like some of these marketing companies are starting to recognize. One of the funniest thing, and I will not throw this company under the bus, but they were at Vertical Track and they said, oh, we're killing it for garage doors. And we already have like a director of marketing that works, we work together. He's like, fill out this form. And I was like, yeah, I'll fill out the form, just kind of hear your pitch. And it says name, company name, email address, and then industry. And it says plumbing, HVAC, electrical, roofing, other. And I'm like, bro, if you're going to kill it for garage doors, add garage doors as an offering, because this just shows me that we're kind of an afterthought. And, with these, like you're with everything you're doing outside of the industry or outside of, just your being a garage door dealer, and kind of a lot of people are contributing to, like, garage doors are literally just going to continue to evolve in this extremely lucrative business. And I have the same goal as you. I want to sell in 5 years, but I don't want to just sell and walk away. I want to provide the most awesome opportunity for our team and the people that work here, and really kind of corporatize everything. And we've got good benefits. I want to offer great benefits and great retirement and great pay and opportunities that we could get to in 20, 25 years. I want to get to a point where we bring someone on and we can just expedite that. And everybody's always scared when you say that, you're going to sell in 5 years. Like, no, I'm not selling to walk away. I'm selling to improve everybody's lives that are involved and all the future people that are going to be a part of it.
Yeah, 100%. Good job, bro. I appreciate you. I appreciate your friendship and what you're doing for the industry. I think it's amazing. It's definitely going to help my door company out, because my clientele wants and needs this, right? Like, this is I don't know anybody needs it. They may think they need it, and we want them to feel that way. So we're going to try that. But our clientele is desperate for something fresh and new and different that can't get it anywhere else. So I saw that
We'll
you guys
connect. Yeah, we'll connect, and we'll
you give me
talk about your
samples.
house.
I'll do some YouTube videos, like YouTube reviews. I'm going to get it in the hands. We're doing a presentation to a bunch of designers next month.
I'll get you a sample box for sure. I'll have your sales rep drop one off to you, just for you. Yeah, and thank you for what you're doing, man. Right, like, and you and Tamara, and like, just like I saw you at Vertical Track, and you've always been open and super cool. And I see how, like, I got to talk with Tyler. We were like on a call, and that, man, just like the people that, if you have like a Ryan Lucia gang, like, your gang is strong. You got a lot of really good people. It really is. And you got people of all.
I've surrounded myself with some badass players, bro.
And they're all different shapes and sizes and revenues, and they're all amazing, and they all want to kill it. And you should be really proud of what you built.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Anyone has questions about Axolotl, it's Jake at Axolotl, AXOLOTL global.com. And then if you want to hit me up at Right Way, it's jw@rwgaragedoors.com.
There you have it. And we're still trying to close him on coming to GDU in September. So if he's there, you'll get to chat with him as well.
I think I'll be at GDU.
Jake?
I think I'm at the summit.
Yeah, you totally need to be, and you also
I
need
will.
to join the group because you promised me.
I don't ever miss a good chance to write off a vacation.
Do it. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's on an island. We're doing a boat trip, a fishing trip, like a fishing tournament. We've chartered 10 striper fishing boats.
Wow.
Have you ever fished striper?
No.
Bro, they fight like crazy. So what they do is they put these fishing poles on the back and they trail them back like 100, 200 feet. And these things run in packs and they're fast. So they'll follow the boat and they'll just start hitting. And you'll have like 3 or 4 hit at the same time. So you got all these guys on the boat grabbing the fishing rods and trying to reel them in.
Oh, I
and they're
love it.
and running. Bro, it's a freaking blast, dude. So anyway, before I get too excited and ramble on for another 30 minutes, thank you so much, Jake, for coming on. We really appreciate you. And seriously, bro, if you can get those samples in my hands, I'll start recording videos to put on YouTube of the review of the material. We'll get them in the hands of our interior designers here. We have a network of architects. We're also a member of ACID, which is the Interior Design Association, and AIA, which is the Architects Association. So I can help you spread the word, bro. I'm all
Dude,
about.
I just want to get them to you because I like you. You don't even need to tell me all that.
Bro, I'm trying to pump it, dude. I want to
You're the
grow
best.
this. I want to grow it, and I want to change our industry. I want to be part of it, and installing one would be an honor for me. So I'm super excited to be able to do that. I'm personally not going to install it because it probably wouldn't be good, but we'll have one of my guys install it.
You could hit up Larry. Maybe Larry will fly out and
That's
install for
He
you.
would. He would.
Right on,
All right,
guys.
brother. Thank you so much for coming on. Tamara, you got anything?
Nope. I just am so thrilled that Jake's on today. We've been shouting you out, Jake. I don't know if you've been listening at the podcast.
You get a
but
lot of
several-
love on here.
Yeah.
I know I do. I'm blushing right now. You guys are
All right,
awesome.
bro.
Thank you. Talk to
Be
you soon.
good. See ya.